What's up, everybody? Today, super excited because we're going to be installing these 4xInnovation DOM tubing kickout sliders on the Tacoma. These things are super affordable and they're made from DOM tubing, which is, the strongest tubing you can get. So I'm really excited to put them on. I'm going to show you how I do it, and yeah, we're going to see how they look. Let's get going. Alright, so one of the most annoying things about installing sliders is actually positioning them where you want to weld them on. However, my method that I've decided to use is to use two jack stands, which will easily support the weight of the slider. But then you've got it hanging down like this, and you want the slider needs to come up and slightly angle upwards so you get maximum clearance while still getting protection. So, but you want that, you don't really know what angle you're going to want right off the bat. So, what I use is just my cheap floor jack. And there you go. Now I can just kind of wiggle it around. So I've got them positioned pretty much where I want. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grab one of the plates and the legs. I guess I don't really need a leg right now, because the plate has a lot of play. I'm just going to put it where I want it and mark it off. Then I'm going to go over to the back right here and hold the frame up right about where the curve of the frame ends, or starts, sorry. I'm going to do the same thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape measure and measure the distance between those edges, and we have 4 legs per slider, so I'm going to divide that distance by 4 approximately. Now what I'm going to do is take a grinder with a paddle sanding bit on it, or a paddle sanding wheel, sorry, bit, what am I talking about, and I'm going to just take off the paint on the frame, and you can do it a bunch of ways, but this thing eats through paint pretty quick, so it's the quickest. Alright, next step is to tack the mounting plates in. I don't want to fully weld them in yet, just in case I need to take them off or reposition them for any reason. Seeing how the slider mounting plates tack to the frame, I believe I'm going to need a little more penetration than what I'm capable of getting with my current power setup through the garage. I'm only running 110 through here. I don't have access to 230. So tomorrow I'm going to my boss's house, who has a phenomenal garage setup. It's like a 5-door barn that is purpose built to weld up tractors and everything like that. So it's sick. It's really nice. So we're going over there tomorrow to use his MIG. I have a Hobart Handler 210, so I could use 230, but he's got an even nicer MIG, so I'll use his. But in the meantime, what I can do to still continue forward on this project is paint the sliders themselves. It's a lot more convenient to paint sliders when they're off the truck. You can paint them on the truck. I'm going to need to do some painting anyway while it's on the truck, touch up welds, but the more I can do off the truck, the better. So we're going to be using Eastwood Chassis Black, Extreme Chassis Black Primer, and Eastwood Extreme Chassis Black Top Coat. Two really tough paints. Should give me a great finish. Let's get these things covered up. Well, here we are at my boss's house. This is his brand new Kubota that he just got, and he's armoring up. He runs a invasive removal. He runs a business. He runs a huge shredder on the back of this thing, and then he's got another one and a third one, which he just took the cage off. But he's got this insanely huge garage or barn where he can move these things in and armor them up, all custom built cages. And yeah, he's got a nice property. His house is behind those trees up there. He's a inventor and big into forestry, and I work as an engineer for one of his startup companies. But anyway, just finished this one. The welds aren't beautiful, but they are beefy, so they should hold. And as you can see, well, I would hope my body weight wouldn't break this thing, but I can just do whatever I want. And so those welds under there are all done. And honestly, I just kind of eyeballed the whole thing, and now I'm going to match the other one up to its relative angle. Get out of the sun here so you can see its relative angle and position. And this is his big old Lincoln that he's got. He also has another Miller welder generator. He's got a plasma, he's got all this cool stuff. Anyway guys, let's get going. Before I weld these on, I just wanted to mention it's very important to clean all metal parts that are bare metal parts that you're about to weld on. Just clean these with some thinner. Anything that besides bare metal that goes into the weld will compromise weld strength. Also, that nice fresh paint I just buzzed off with the sanding grinder just because I need bare metal again, but no big deal. I've got the slider position pretty much where I want it, so I'm just going to spot weld it in. Alright, now that these things are in here, weld the crap out of them. Because if your truck lands on this thing, you want it to be as strong as possible. here they are, all welded up. I put a lot of weld on these things, and it's not necessarily pretty, but it's a lot of beads, so hopefully these things hold up to whatever I can throw at them. Oh, and these are the Falcon AT3Ws that I just got, and if you can see, the back's up a little higher because I just got Old Man Emu Dakar leaf springs. Anyway, let's put these sliders to a little bit of a test, huh? Well, here you go. Not totally off the ground, but that's the majority of the weight right on the sliders. In one spot, too. I deem that a success. Well guys, there you go. Complete weld-on slider installation. This kit is from 4xInnovation. You get DOM tubing with it, and it's super cheap because it comes in a bunch of parts. I'm going to take this truck home, I'm going to mask off the sides, and I'm going to spray, or first I'm going to wire brush, and then I'm going to spray paint everything that is bare metal right now. This truck is going to the Vermont Overland Rally the last weekend of September. That is 4 days of vehicles like this one or more equipped, just going through some of the craziest trails you've ever seen up in New England. So I'm super, super excited. Stay tuned for videos of that, pictures of that. Follow me on Instagram, there's my handle. Oh, and some of you guys are probably wondering what happened to the plasti dip. I took down that video because I took the dip off. The reason I took the dip off is because there was some weird pearl stuff going on, and every time the sun hit it I was just too OCD for it, and I was like, I wish I'd done a better job. But it was okay. It was pretty good, but I'm too OCD. Anyway, so I took it off, and I plan on doing it again in the future with a solid color. Anyway guys, more really cool stuff coming soon. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of better ways to do this, but this is how I did it. Turned out great. So see you guys soon.